Hello everyone, this is Beth, and I want to talk today a little bit about the Auric Field, and that's what surrounds you in your body. It's your energy hanging out outside of you. And I've found over the years, I used to try and make my energy super small and hide. And this came from circumstances in high school, in junior high, in 6th grade. There was at one point a reason why I wanted to not be seen, and that was so I wouldn't get peer abuse. And so that kind of pulling in and being super duper small, and my energy carried over into adulthood, which meant later on I had to fix that inclination to suck in my energy. Because here's the thing, try and suck my Auric field in as much as possible. It's not really a good way to do it. I don't recommend it. And when you're not having a robust Auric field, it means you're going to be doing a lot more shielding, a lot more trying to be rigid and keep things out. I find shielding, one, to be exhausting oftentimes, and two, it doesn't work that well, and three, things you really need sometimes don't get to you because they bounce off your shield. Not my favorite way to protect my energy. If you are in a very hostile environment, someone's actively where you're at sending you not good energies, then shielding does have a place. Saying not ever shield, but I find it's really what you want to do in extreme circumstances and not as your main force of managing your energy. Having a robust Auric field now is going to really feel good. You're going to have expansive energy. You're not going to be sucked in. You're not having to shield. Things aren't rigid. What needs to get to you gets to you, and what doesn't need to get to you gets filtered out. I find that using the filter system with the Auric field is one of the best ways to do it. So how do you get a robust Auric field? I think it's a little different for everybody. I think it depends on how you work. Energy management systems that are fairly popular, such as Tai Chi, martial arts, yoga, Kundalini yoga, that kind of stuff, meditation, exercise, grounding, all those things have a role in a robust, Auric field. And knowing that everyone has different abilities and capabilities with their bodies, you define that. So exercise for me could look very different from someone who doesn't have as much mobility, etc. So that kind of thing is defined by you, how it works for you. I think I heard no cat, but had to check. So things like exercise, anything that's mobility related is defined by how you are and what is good for you. Because I am not you, you are not me, and what's okay for me could injure you. So you have to remember that when you're doing these things, you need to make the system work for you. For me, Kundalini yoga, yes, I know there's issues with all that going on. My introduction to it came through Ravi Singh and Anna Brett. So they've been more my teachers than, the problem did. So that's, I have found it very powerful for me. I practiced it exclusively for several years before coming back to more of a Hatha yoga style of needing that physicality. Not that Kundalini isn't physical, it's just physical in a different way. Of needing things, of how that form of yoga moves my body. And now kind of moving into, there's several years of getting that better, of working now into I do some Kundalini, I do some Hatha. Both of them work very well for me. Yoga is something I started practicing in my early 20s, back when it was really hard to find anything on yoga, pre-yoga boom. It felt like coming home to my body. And so I kept practicing it. And for me, it is very much part of my spiritual practice and my energy practices, and has helped me create a robust auric field and work through emotional issues. So that is one way I deal with it. How everyone is going to look a little bit different. Um, this is the thing. You have to be like, that sounds interesting, and pick the part that works or sounds good to you, and then make it your own. But definitely working with, I'm trying to think, do I have? I'm writing my note. If I have Auric Field video, I'll link it. I can't remember if I have one up or not. And if so, where is it? Working with meditation to strengthen that, working with the last video of talking about cleaning and body hygiene, that kind of stuff also strengthens that. It keeps it clear and uncluttered of the gunk that just sticks to you. And if you're any form of sensitive, whether it's empath, medium, psychic, however you view yourself, that stuff sticks on you. And you don't want to keep it. It's not yours. And the more stuff you let stick on your auric field, that's why, like, the basic hygiene, that's why I started with that one, because it's like the most basic thing you can do to clear your energy. So really look at, how do you feel? Are you pulling your energy in? Or are you letting it be expansive and feeling it rolling out? One of the best ways I find to get in touch with how your energy feels is relaxation exercises, where you just all of a sudden you kind of feel like, I experience this like kind of wave-like feeling, and it took me several years to, I was like, oh wait, that's my energy field, that's my auric field. Ooh, and it just kind of feels nice and relaxing and all wavy, like ocean waves kind of thing. So that's how I experience it. You may, like I said, different for everybody. There are commonalities, but not everything is going to be the same for you. So work on letting it expand out. This is the first step, especially if you're like me, a polar inner, of letting it just expand out and noticing the difference you feel. And you want to keep using the cleaning, the bathing, keeping the house fairly decluttered kind of stuff to help stuff not stick to it. And really, the shower, bathing for cleaning up your auric field is going to be one of the best ways to keep it clear, so you are properly filtering, as opposed to having stuff kind of like be stuck in it. Because that can happen too. It's like things kind of get filtered, but they don't get cleared out. So you have like something halfway to you that's kind of getting to you that you don't need because you haven't cleared it out. Sound is another good way. Movement. I'll do. Yeah. I have several things on the list to do. I think probably next time we'll talk about grounding and how I do it. I'm not a fairly grounded person. I'm very fiery and airy. With some water in there and steamy. Just I'm not grounded. Naturally not. I will live in my head. Which is a whole nother thing other than the auric field. But I find the filter system, and the more robust you can get your auric field, the better you're going to feel, the better you're going to filter, the less you're going to have to do rigid shielding that is tiring and not working so well. And it will, don't expect it overnight. It's not going to be like 1 minute you're like, and the next day you're like, oh, it's going to take a while. I spent several years. Actually, I focused on my solar plexus doing Kundalini for about a year to really get that strengthened. And I was just working on the bolstering of all my energetic systems, but starting at the solar plexus because I tend to hold a lot of judgment, a lot of negative self-talk, that kind of stuff there, and getting that going, which spreads out into the auric field. And also just being very expansive in my energy, of not being afraid to have big, large, juicy energy. And the thing, because if you spell in small, people can't see it. The thing is, if your energy is big enough, people just kind of walk through it. And you're not seen anyways because you're so big. Does that make sense? So you can go the opposite way other than shrinking in. Big, juicy, bold. It's like they don't even see you because your energy is so large. It just is part of what they're walking through. And I gotta say, once I started really working on this Auric Field stuff of releasing my energy, letting it be a filter, letting it be as big as it wants to be that day. And some days it's going to be kind of like a little more in, and other days it's really huge. That's okay. You're going to have fluctuation. Don't be freaked out if one day it's like kind of like more clingy to your body. It's just how it is that day. You're probably not feeling very well that day too. Want to bet, or you're clearing something. Like I go to Costco now. I used to go to Costco, I go grocery shopping kind of stuff, come home with a headache. Since I let my Auric Field be free to do what it needs to do and be a proper filter and be the energy around me, it doesn't happen very frequently anymore. Even being stressful in the time of the Rona, going to the grocery store where I feel like I can't touch anything and I can't smell the fruit because I got a mask on. Don't come home with a migraine. So it works. It does work. It takes a while to get to the point where it's extremely robust, but you can get there. And the Energy Management Series is going to help you get there. There will be techniques and information, a little bit of both. Next time we'll talk about grounding and how I ground and what I use. And I'm going to leave that as a cliffhanger. So everyone have a wonderful day. Go out there and be the love in the world. And I'll see you around.